Can someone please explain to me how it's like whitewash to be black and dress get like normal clothes? Like, I feel like every time I see a black girl on TikTok and she dresses like trendy, people are like, oh, you're whitewashed. Like, how is it whitewashed to like wear clothes? Like, I'm actually confused because what are you saying that black people have to dress a certain way? I feel like
That's exactly what they're saying. That's literally exactly what they're saying. Anytime somebody brings up this conversation of you are acting white, that's some white right there. You're whitewash. You're an Oreo. I don't know if they still using the Oreo, but back in the day, you're an Oreo, black on the outside, white on the inside. Anytime this conversation comes up, it is literally a form of identity suppression, of individuality suppression. They want you, if you happen to be melanated, to show up in an exact way, an exact format, dress in a very specific sort of subsect, right? And if you deviate from that, you're whitewashed. So let us continue.
arguably weirder. And like, or like if a black girl straightens her hair, like, oh, she's whitewashed. Like, maybe she just didn't want to have her hair curly that day. Like, I'm confused. I just feel like it's so weird. Like, in the Big 25, we're calling people whitewashed for dressing in a shirt. And
Y'all know I got to address that that little flickering, fleeting point right there about the hair. See, here's the thing. I happen to be one of these individuals who does not care as far as what people do with their own bodies, right? When you get in a conversation of somebody else's body that is within a body, that's different. But, you know, it's your head, your scalp. You can do as you so choose. It is your body. You can put whatever clothes you want on it. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be judged for it. It doesn't mean that, you know, people aren't going to perceive you a certain way, or you might not be arrested for your lack of clothing in certain areas. However, that's still your prerogative. But when it comes to the hair and, you know, things of that nature, the only people who really seem to care are those within, I guess I would say, the quote unquote black community. I say quote unquote because it's not necessarily every black person who would, I guess, see themselves as a part of this just one monolithic collective, right? If you are outside of that collective and you happen to, I don't know, want to get braids in your hair. Let's say you happen to be a quote unquote white girl and you want cornrows. You would be considered as culturally appropriating, which would mean that you are not allowed to do what you're doing unless you are blatantly looking to disrespect somebody else's ethnicity. Now, I've had this conversation a million times over, and, you know, people in my comments have informed me as far as true historic context when it comes to things like braids, etc. But when it's all said and done, none of that necessarily matters. What actually does is the fact that it's your damn head. So if you want to fill your head with chemicals and straighten your hair out, you know, if you want to, I don't know, go with the unkept look and grow those natural dreads and just let your hair lock out, or you want to get braids in your hair as a white girl, you want to get the blonde weave as a black woman, you can do that. You can absolutely do that, but let's make it fair. Let's not have this double standard of on one side is cultural appropriation, on the other side is something else. That's why that conversation comes up, right? Anybody who's been talking about, well, why are black women doing this with their hair? Why are black women doing this, you know, with their makeup palette or whatever it is, trying to have these Eurocentric sort of looks? I would say we wouldn't care if there wasn't so much scrutiny on those on the other side. Let's just not give a damn. You know, love who loves you. Love who you love. Put on whatever hair you want to put on. And for the folks who judge it, including myself, to hell with them. But don't be a hypocrite. That one thing I cannot stand.
jean shorts. Like, I saw this black girl on TikTok. She's wearing like a Scuffers shirt and like jorts, and her hair was straightened, and everyone was like, no, the white people got to you. And I'm like, she's just wearing a normal outfit. Like,
y'all notice, by the way, who the audience she's speaking of, the ones who are criticizing, all right? She let it be known right there. She's not mentioning a demographic. I know a lot of these, especially young girls on social media, they try to stay in the boundaries and they don't want to step out too much because God forbid they actually have an opinion of their own. But, I give her credit. She's actually talking about it in the first place. But let's not get it twisted here. Black folk get this more from other black folk than anybody else. That's just the God honest truth. If you happen to stray or deviate from the norm, you are quote unquote alternative, right? You're alt, right? You're alt, you are, I don't know, grunge, you are goth, you are punk rock, you're, country club. You are considered as quote unquote white or whitewashed, as this young lady is alluding to. But one thing you're not seen as is one of us. You are uninvited from the cookout. And to be honest, if that's your cookout, to hell with your cookout.
That any other girl would wear, black or not. And her hair was straightened. But you can go on her page. I don't know how many times she straightens her hair. But even if she straightens her hair all the time, that doesn't make her whitewashed. She's still black. Do black people have to act ghetto to be black? That's such a weird thing. That doesn't make any sense.
Ooh, they're evolving, folks. Gen Z is in the building. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not often shocked, when I'm hearing this conversation, but I am surprised when the messenger deviates from the norm, right? Because again, these are the young women who are being targeted by the far left or just the left, because the entire thing is extremism. They're the ones who are being radicalized at unprecedented rates, etc. Right? It's that she is the key demo for the quote unquote progressive liberal movement. This is who feminism wants to consume whole. And so I hope this is a saving grace. I hope she keeps this mentality, as well as her bestie over there in the other seat, who happens to be a quote unquote black girl, who I guess she's in defense of. And they have these conversations.
It doesn't make any sense. They're not whitewashed. They're just black. They're just normal black people.
Okay. This is approved by a whitewashed black girl.
Because I'm so confused.
Yeah, I gotta do a video on this quote unquote token phenomenon, right? Because a few times throughout my life, when I, let's say, was in a friend group that happened to be majoritively white, I would be labeled as a token, right? That was not even to consider the fact that these weren't, the totality of all my friends or my closest friends. But if I took a picture, God forbid, with 4 white dudes and I'm the one black dude in that picture, God forbid that be the case. I had a cousin of mine back in the day, and he commented under this Facebook picture. That's how you know it was a throwback. He commented on the Facebook picture, "Really? All white?" And he said it in Shona, a native tongue. And I thought to myself, now, that's uncalled for. What's the purpose of that? What's that about? And I know he was trying to do it in a little bit of a sublime way or whatever it is, but it's like, are we really that backwards? And this just so happens to be a guy who, is a quote unquote token in some of his own environments. But now he's throwing himself fully into this blackety black thing. Ashwagandha, Wakanda forever. He has been radicalized, consumed by the Democratic plantation. I hope the best for him. But again, it's can it not just be okay to, I don't know, just live in your own individuality, to be into what you're into? And again, if I have to subscribe to certain ways of showing up in the world to be a part of your collective, be a part of your group, I don't want to be a part of it. I used to care about not only being invited to the cookout, but being one of the hosts of the cookout and inviting others to the cookout. Now, I don't give a damn about the cookout. I will cook my own steak. You understand me? My own ribeyes. I'll make my own ribs, my own chicken wings. I'm good. I'll do that with the people who are not so consumed with that mentality. So good on these young ladies here. Good on them, the both of them, but mostly the one who delivered the message, because she was bold enough to tell the damn truth. It's really that simple. This is stupid. Why are we doing this? This makes no sense, period. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.